Greetings, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to be looking at some key elements of your leadership. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu. And welcome back to the 11th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the three-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen no Tachiden. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni suru no wa yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcaster Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is Honto? Honto? Really? Honto? Someone tells you something and it's quite surprising. You're like, oh, really? Then you just say, Honto? 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 Now, this is episode number 542. Today we're talking about, as the leader, is it do or is it be? Which is most important to us as a leader? What we choose to do or who we choose to be? Most of our careers on the way up will have been concentrated on doing, achieving, delivering results, making the numbers, getting projects delivered on time and on budget. Absolutely nothing wrong with any of that. When we get into a position of leadership, there's always a lot to do. Previously, we were responsible for ourselves, and now we are responsible for a bunch of other people. It is always breathtaking to discover that the people you are leading are nothing like you. They have different mindsets, motivations, values, fears, habits, desires, and ambitions. The old boss idea that, hey, if you want to be able to get ahead, be like me, is a joke in this modern business world. The doing in business is so loud, we're often oblivious to how we are showing up. Every one of our staff are expert boss watchers. They can notice the smallest variation in our demeanour from one day to another. They are like those gazelles you see in nature documentaries wandering around the African savannah, keeping a close eye on the nearby pride of lions. Staff have learnt that self-preservation is improved by keeping a close eye on the mood of the boss. Maybe I shouldn't raise that project today because the boss looks in a bad mood. I was reminded of this recently. I got to the office early, and when one of my team arrived, he asked me if I was okay. Without knowing it, my face was showing a lot of stress. I didn't realize I was showing it, but he noticed it immediately. Here is a hint for bosses. Keep an eye on what is on your face because we can be radiating messages and we might not be aware we are doing so. The do part of our job has to line up with the say part as well. Staff love consistency and predictability on the part of the boss. They don't want to work for duplicitous people. Today, they have lots of options, and there is an army of hungry recruiters constantly on the lookout for poaching opportunities. Companies often frame their vision, mission, and value statements and hang them on the wall as a dedication to what the firm stands for. Middle management leaders cannot even remember these statements, so you have to wonder what is the value of doing this. I know that they cannot remember them because we test it every chance we get. As a training company, we're often brought in to give the middle managers leadership training. The very start of the class, I take the frame off the wall and turn it around so that no one can see it. The class usually has around 20 plus people. When I ask what is the vision or the mission or the values, there's a lot of shoe gazing going on as they avoid eye contact with me. The best they can come up with is 2 or maybe 3 of the values, and they cannot recall the rest. I cannot see how you can live it if you can't remember it. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese and we do them in English, do them in our super safe classroom. We do them live online. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 3rd of February, our Dale Carnegie course, the 12-week version. On the 15th of February, our Leadership Training for Managers program, the 3-day version. On the 19th and 20th, we'll have our High Impact Presentations class. On March the 1st, we'll do another Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. So that's www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. So that's greg.story, STORY, at dalecarnegie.com. Don't forget to grab my business books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese. Japan Business Mastery. Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anata mo Presen no Tachijin in translation. And Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Budni Sunu wa Yamimashou. If you like learning by watching videos, and we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan. That's every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. So, as the boss, can you remember the vision, mission, and values? Are you living them as a role model for the rest of the crew? Are you congruent in your boss behavior with what the firm says is the way we do things around here? Companies like to say things like, there are no mistakes, only learning opportunities. I agree, and that is a very noble idea. The problem arises when the boss chews out a member of the staff for benefiting from this learning opportunity by screwing something up. This is where the do and the be are not aligning. It is so easy for this to occur because the do part of our work is so deafening and so overpowering. We get sucked up into the vortex of constant meetings, tsunami of emails and task requirements, exceeding the time available to do them. Tempers can fray, patience can erode, and we say things we regret later because we know we are not walking the talk. Being a boss is an inside-out process. Who we are on the inside becomes obvious to everyone around us. They know if we are a fraud or if we are true of heart. This can be the Johari window quadrant of known to everyone, but not known to us. Our do is not matching up with our be. Being self-aware sounds good in theory, but in a busy world, it can be hard to track and monitor. Busy bosses have no time allocated for self-reflection because they are overwhelmed by the workload. This taking a moment to think about our be and whether it is matched by our do is a very useful exercise. We are not perfect human beings, but we can improve if we decide that it is worth it. If we want to keep our people from the ravages of the recruiter army, then it is worth it. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.